Hey, what's up there YouTube? My name is Grimfire and I'm back with another Tabletop Simulator video. And this video should not be too long. I am going to be discussing my favorite Dungeons & Dragons table to use as a virtual tabletop on Tabletop Simulator. And it is a workshop mod called the Kraken Table. In my opinion, it is probably the best Dungeons & Dragons table you can use right now. Of course, this video is all my own opinion. I haven't tried a whole lot of other ones, so if there are other ones you like more than this one, then go ahead and leave it down in the comments below. Try not to leave a link to it, as YouTube doesn't really like that, but if you leave the name of the mod, I can look it up myself and I'll try to make a video about it, maybe reviewing it. Maybe we'll just help the others in the comments find another table that best suits their game. However, in this one we're going to talk about the Kraken table, and I'm going to go into details on why I like it, some of the added bonuses of it that I like, and at the end of the video I will show you my current Dungeons & Dragons setup for my campaign that I run every other week on Sundays. But without further ado, let's get straight into the video. To find this table, it's actually quite simple. You're going to go to the workshop for the Tabletop Simulator like we have been in all these other videos, and you're going to search up the mod called the Kraken Table. The table you're looking for will be the first table in the list here. It just says the Kraken Table by a Lily, and you're going to want to add this by hitting the plus mark like you would with any other mod. Now I'm going to hop back into the game and I'm going to show you exactly what the features of this table are. Alright, when you're in game, you're going to go up to games, go to your workshop like we usually do, and you're going to want to find the mod that is called the Kraken Table. And then for this one, you can probably just load it if you're loading it basically, or you could hit additive load, but I think that'll make the other table clip inside, so we're just going to click it and load the table itself, load the entire mod. It'll put you in a voidless room with the table itself, and here's the table. So this is a table that comes with the other mod that I talk about in my how to play Dungeons & Dragons on Tabletop Simulator video, except for that mod creator actually added extra drawers to the table, which I didn't need, so I decided to use the basic Kraken table. So with this table, you've got 6 drawers, whereas if you go to each drawer, you can press the little red button and it'll extend them. That way you can set up, you have 6 seats to set up. As you can see, if I change my color, you'll see the all the colors in the seats. We'll go to Game Master. And then, so each side has 3 drawers. Then there's also this extending side. So if you want to make your own your Dungeon Master's table without using an extra mod or add-on or item, you can just click this to extend the table. And there you go. You got a little platform. To me, that's not big enough for my D&D area, my DMing area that I use. Although it might be nowadays because I don't use everything that's in my area, but I use the one from the mod that I show about when I talk about playing Dungeons & Dragons on Tabletop Simulator, the overall mod. Now, there are a couple of reasons I like the table. One, I like the fact that it's got 6 drawers. I play with 4 players, so I use 4 of the 6. But I love it, just makes it look like a more professional D&D style table. It's got the sunken in center here where if you go up and add your grid to it, we'll go ahead and show lines. You can see the lines across the table. They fit perfectly on just the black surface. You could take any type of terrain tile or mat that you have for a mod and stretch it across this table. Same with any of the 3D dungeon tiles that I've created myself. It also has a button here to customize board. However, when you click customize board, it just changes your black tabletop to a slick white tabletop, and you can't change it back. So I'm not really sure what the purpose of that is. If you do know what that is and you've used this mod, then let me know down in the comments below. I'm kind of curious to know what that actually is for. But I will show you one of my favorite features of this table, however, is if you have a player, say, sitting at this seat right here, and they have some items to keep on their desk, like we'll use my auto roller that I have all my players using in my campaign. So let's say we grab one of the auto rollers, we'll grab the green one, and we'll throw it on that piece of the desk. And then we'll go ahead and we'll grab one of my saved miniatures. Oh, looks like they changed the UI a little bit of this page. That's interesting. And we'll take Ronnie, our female barbarian. We'll throw her on the desk too. There we go. So this player is playing a female barbarian, and they've got their auto dice roller. Of course, I'll show you. I'll show you my table setup after this, just so you get an idea. But if you put it here, and you have to make sure you lock it. If you lock it in place, so we hit L to lock that in place, and we take Ronnie, we hit L to lock her in place. Now, if you were to close the drawer to make the table look neat, and then you open the drawer, the pieces are all there and they don't move. I have found a little bug is if you close the drawers and then save the session and then you guys join the session the next time and open the drawers, some things seem to become unlocked for no reason and things kind of topple over. They don't go flying too far, but it is something to keep an eye out on if you do decide to close your drawers. I just thought it was a little neat little function that you could have personalized stations for each of your players and have their own little tables that can open and close, and whatnot. Okay, guys, so it's a little bit of a mess because we did finish up a session not too long ago, and I kind of save the table in its current state so we don't lose track of anything. But our players here had been traveling through a mystical item that they found. They got trapped inside of it, and they had to travel through each room. As you can see here, I had one room going to the next, and you see all these little parts here that I placed in, and then they culminated in the final room where they met a Djinn that granted them some wishes. But as you can see here, my players, they like to draw on the table, but you can see their four stations here. And they each are color coded. We color coded the dice as well as a roller. And you can see here, one of the cool things that I added is this is a map that I created for the region they're in, using another program that I can go into if you guys would like to see in a future video as well. Now that I think about it, it's a really useful tool for any Dungeons and Dragons campaign, whether you're meeting up in person or on a virtual tabletop. I actually have this printed out in person as well. But using Tabletop Simulator, you can go to Objects and go to Components, hit Custom, and then select, I believe I did board for these ones. It's either board or tile. I'm not positive right now, but I'm pretty sure it's one of those two. And then you just pick the PNG or JPEG that you have on file, and there you go. And as you can see, it's very high quality because I did mine in 1080. But each table has one, so they have a map to reference depending on where they are in the world. Some of them have these little notes that I gave them during the session that they got letters from their parents or from someone else that's important to their story, and they can flip them upside down so the other players do not see them. They obviously, again, they have their dice. They have a little dice tray that I added just to keep their dice in, and an auto roller for when they want to use it. And then they've got these orbs, which are kind of mystical items that I passed out during one of our last sessions. So they have a physical one on their table to kind of symbolize that. But yeah, and then here's my DM station. As you can see, this is kind of a jumbled mess with all the dice that I've been using. But I took an asset that came out of the main mod that I showed you guys, and just kind of put it back where it was in that mod. And you can see the room we're in is also another mod that we used, which apparently I threw a cube on the ground here. Let me go get that. That uses assets for the walls and the floor to make you look like you're in an actual game room, and that's actually what the mod's called. It's one of the game room mods. But yeah, so this is my current setup, and those are my thoughts on the Kraken table. And that's about it, guys. That's the Kraken table. Personally, my favorite Dungeons & Dragons table that I've used on Tabletop Simulator so far. If you wanted to know anything about any of the extra mods I showed you throughout the end of that video, whether it be the game room walls and the setup that I used, or the 3D, the dungeon pieces you can find in another one of my videos, although the ones in this particular video aren't actually out as a mod yet. I haven't released them, but I will be doing that sometime in the next few weeks. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like, leave a comment down below, let me know what you might want to see out of another video, whether it be Dungeons & Dragons or Tabletop Simulator related. As a side note, this channel, while mostly Tabletop Simulator and Dungeons & Dragons related right now, is going to be branching out a little bit. I'm going to be doing some World of Warcraft content here soon for people that like World of Warcraft. I am an avid player. I play it all week long when I'm not working, and I want to get into some content of that. That will not stop my Tabletop Simulator content. I will still be putting out at least one video a week of Tabletop Simulator and Dungeons & Dragons. However, this weekend I will be filming a short series for World of Warcraft with my nephew. We're going to be reacting to every cinematic that WoW and Blizzard have released for World of Warcraft from start to the current Shadowlands expansion coming out. My nephew has not seen any of them for the most part. I've seen most of them, but it's been a long time. So it should be a lot of fun, really interesting. I'll probably break it up into a few videos since it'll probably be about an hour long. But with that, all that being said, guys, I appreciate all the support you guys have given me thus far on this channel. And again, if you want to see anything else, comment down below. Let me know what you want to see from me, from this channel, and I will see what I can do about making a video of that. Other than that, guys, hope you have a great day, a great week, and I'll see you in the next video.